Hello, hello. Welcome to Make It Monday Live with Pamela. I'm Pamela, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the Texas Hill Country in Fredericksburg, Texas. So sorry for the delay. I had some issues copying my description from notes this morning. Was having unexpected errors. It kept shutting down, so I think I got the description in there. I do have a link that I'll have to add later for the new Scrap and Create kit we have this week. This one's going to be a fun one. I have put this one off, I don't know why, for so long. And it is the Floral Delight, I think is what it's called. Who's played with it already? Good morning, Charisse. Yes, Floral Delight. So our new Scrap and Create kit. Let me find my notes to share with you what we'll be doing today. So we're creating a 2-page 12 by 12 scrapbook layout. Our title is going to be Wishing You Joy in Every Little Thing. It's all about celebrating sunshine and sweet moments and the beauty of everyday life. The concept of the whole suite, of course, is using the Daffodil Delight with some lots of florals. And I'm going to create a fun page about my daughter Bevan. So we're using the Floral Delight 12 by 12 Designer Series paper. Good morning, Debbie. And let me see. I don't have a full kit together yet, but I've got it started. So let me show you some of what will be included this week. So this is what I've already worked out of. This is the designer series paper. So this suite, this is a really big suite. It has designer series paper plus some vellum that's really pretty. We'll try to incorporate into the projects this week. Maybe not on every project. I'm not sure yet. All right, that's a piece of cardstock. So we'll put that over there. So these are our patterns. So far, I just have this little bit left over, but you'll get 6 by 12 pieces of each pattern paper in the designer series paper collection. We'll be using this one on today's project. It's got some pretty tiny flowers and leaves on that side. And then we'll flip this over so you can see all the pretty colors. We've got Old Olive, Daffodil Delight, Pecan Pie. Some of the other colors are Lemon Lolly, Peach Pie. I guess that's in this paper we're using today. And then there's some Pool Party as well. So there's some Pool Party in what we're doing today. All right, we'll flip that over. So you'll get those pieces. You'll get some olive, old olive, two-tone cardstock, along with the Daffodil Delight two-tone cardstock. So you'll see in here what that looks like. Oh, and I got to show you that vellum too. So there's the back and the front, and then you can see so it's almost like the lemon lolly, I think. Loving the two-tone cardstock that Stampin' Up! Has brought over from close to my heart. And then you'll also get some pecan pie cardstock, just probably this 6x6 sheet, and then a full sheet of, I don't have a full sheet in here yet, but of the basic white, and you'll get some 3 sheets of the white willow cardstock for your scrapbooking. Remember, we'll do the 2-page scrapbook layout today. Then Wednesday we'll do a 1-page 12 by 12. And then Friday we'll do 2 fun fold cards. And it'll be everything out of the Scrap and Create kit this week. And I didn't forget, it's right here. Here is that beautiful vellum. How pretty is that? So you can see my hand behind it. So Stampin' Up! Is making patterned vellum. I don't know why they took away the plain vellum, but I mean, you can barely see my hand through there. But this one has some of the pool party in it. And then look at this check. That's pretty. And that's at a pool party too. So we may see if we can incorporate it into this one. I'm just not sure yet on that part. You'll see I have a lot of stuff prepped already. We're still going to be doing some die cutting. Not sure yet about stamping. Good morning, Ruth. Thanks for joining me. All right. I'm gonna have to have a little sip of coffee here. I was up a little late last night getting things prepared and working on an artisan assignment that's due on Wednesday. Trying to get that done. What else? Let's see. Today's prompt, I'm trying to share prompts that'll help you kind of get some ideas going. So today's journaling prompt is, what small everyday moments are bringing you joy lately, and how can you celebrate them through your photos and words? Now, my photos today are not something from recent. This is back in 2019, but so whether it's something that's brought you joy lately or in the past, you can scrapbook about a special memory. And that's what I did today. I remembered as I looked through these photos of Bevan and I on Main Street in Fredericksburg, Texas, back in 2019. Um, I'll share more about the story here in a minute. Well, you can probably read it right there, possibly. But so I'm celebrating just about my quality time with her, but also ever since she was a little girl, like little, anytime we went somewhere, she had to touch everything. She had to pick things up. And then when you get down on Main Street in Fredericksburg, there's all these little trinkets and things, and she had to pick up something all the time. And I was always terrified that she was going to break something. So I always was like, be careful with that. I don't want to have to buy it if you drop it and break it. Thankfully, it never happened, but she's a touchy-feely girl, I guess. That's one of the things that I remembered just as I was looking through these photos. So I'm documenting that. Let's see. Oh, on Thursday, this Thursday, April 10th, I'll be doing my Storybook Live. It's Craft Along with Me for the Storybook Life Scrapbooking Workshop Kit. So at 7 p.m. Central Time, I'll go live and put the whole kit together in front of you. We'll cut and assemble the kit. And then I included a link so that you can still purchase the kit. You won't get it by Thursday, of course, so you'll have to come back and watch the replay. But those of you that did order the kit, this is your reminder. I'll send out an email as well about Thursday on the 10th at 7 p.m. Central Time. Again, the replay will be up, so if you miss it, you can always watch it later. And then April 10th is also the deadline to jump in on the April 2025 Paper Pumpkin Kit. You can click the link in my description and see a sneak peek of the colors, and it's a watercolor effect with some bright, fun spring papers, and those are papers, card bases. It'll make 9 cards, 3 of each design. And then they'll also, when you join as a Paper Pumpkin subscriber through me or join my Stamping Up team, you'll receive the exclusive Paper Pumpkin Creatives design PDF for free each month. So jump on that subscription by April 10th. You can or order month by month. You can pause your subscription if you need to for some reason you don't like a kit or something and then start it back up. You can purchase like a 3 month and a 6 month, I think, and then a 12 month. Also, if you just want to get them delivered straight to your door for 3 months, 6 months, or a year. And then what else? Let's see. I think that's it. I'll go over all the products that we use today and we'll get busy. So how's everyone doing? How was everyone's weekend? We had some we had a cold snap come through. Last 2 mornings it was in the 30s here in the Texas Hill Country. All last week it was warm, but it was overcast. This week I think it's going to be spring, totally spring all week long. So I'm so excited for that. Blue skies, everything's green since we got some rain. Good morning, Christine. All right, so we probably need to jump into this because we do have some more prep to do for flowers and so forth, some die cutting to do. Not sure. I might do a tiny bit of stamping. Yeah, I'm going to stamp those leaves, I know for sure. Maybe this little flower, we'll see. But there are some amazing die cuts in this collection of products, this bundle. So let's open that up and show you. So you've got that wishing stamp, but then you also have it in a die. So that's what I've done. I've done some of the die cutting for that. There's this branch that you can put all these flowers on top of. That's cool. And some little flowers. I actually used these on, do I have them handy? I'll just show you real quick. I think I have a card handy here. They haven't gone out yet. See that little flower right here? That's this right here. So those are my thank you cards for my Scrap and Create for last week. Hello, Kate. Thanks for joining me from Australia. Sweet. So there are more dies. This one comes with a lot of dies. Okay, so have two 5x7 magnets strips sheets. One is adhered into my case, and the other one is just laying in there so I can remove it and get to the other one. So we'll be probably cutting these out right here. I wanted to do a neat technique with this, but I'm not sure I can do it on my um yeah, I can't do it on my 12 by 12 page. I'm so bummed about it. So I might just show you. We'll probably just wait and either do it Wednesday, and then of course I'll do it on a card on Friday. I've cut out some of these right here already, along with, again, the wishing and that. And then we're going to have to cut out this piece right here. I think I'm going to do it in yellow, but I'm not 100% sure yet. Might do it in white. So we'll come back to that in just a minute. We'll put that back in there so we don't lose it. And I'll set that aside. Then I also am pulling in this week the Spotlight on Nature dies. This one has a lot of dies as well. So if you love circles, this is a really great one. It's got some really pretty dies. These are all nested in here, so they're all individual circle dies all the way to this tiny one. This large one's how big? Let's see. The large one is pretty much 4 inches. So that's a large circle. It goes all the way down to about an inch right here. And you've got different designs on each sheet, so they can kind of be nested on one another if you choose to do so that way. I've used these a couple of times in past projects. I don't remember which ones. You'll have to go back and check out my Instagram, I guess, to scroll through and see. All right, so we'll be using that. I already have the piece, I think, the only one that I'm going to be using already cut. So I think we can set that aside. And then again, these are the colors that we're using this week that are in this collection of products. So we'll be doing some stamping here and there. Just don't know that we'll be doing a lot today. I think it's going to be more die cutting. And then these are the embellishments that you'll receive in your Scrap and Create kit. We've got some Daffodil Delight along with Satin Ribbon, and then these cute, cute little bee trinkets. Let me show those to you. Okay, so you'll be getting a sampling of all of that. Enough to work through all of your projects for the week. So to earn your Scrap and Create kit for the week, when I say earn, you can get it for free with a $50 order through my Stampin' Up website, or you can purchase it outright with no order for $26. If you want everything pre-cut so you can recreate my projects for the week, you will pay $32 for that. And I'll also have the PDF available for purchase next week. All right, let me see. I'm not straight on my table, so I'm going to do a little shifting here. Just a tiny bit. We'll move it over this way. Okay, so I think we're pretty good and somewhat straight. All right, I have my base of my pages already pre-cut and ready to go. Yay for me, because I use this handy dandy, close to my heart, Make It From Your Heart, Volume 6. So, of course, these aren't available anymore, but I have the whole collection, and they include lots of wonderful samples and diagrams, and it's a great go-to. So here are some examples of what the page, this isn't the page. Let's go here. Let's flip one more page. If you do have this, this is on page 36 and 37. So again, you've got all your um, diagram. You have the diagram along with the what to cut your paper. I'm going to follow this one right here. You can see this one, they flipped the um, the pages. You can rotate them and mirror them to get the look you want, but I'm just going to stick with this design right here. So I did change a couple of things, which would just be putting pattern paper down here at the bottom instead of cardstock. So I do have an extra cutting diagram, um, or just pieces that I'm using that are not included in the cutting diagram. And we'll get busy with that. So I'm going to set that over here to the side. You can find all kinds of sketches on Pinterest. And ooh, the new Stampin' Up! Catalog has a couple of new scrapbook templates in it that you can use. Okay, I've got my journaling and part of my title here ready to go. I've got my photos. So this is what I was talking about with Bevan. We're in the shop. She always had something in her hand or here on her face. She tried on these glasses, so I thought this was fun. And what I did in my photo app on my Mac is search for the word yellow. And I came up with these photos because she was wearing a yellow shirt. I was like, perfect, I'll just scrapbook these. And you know what? I probably have already scrapbooked them. I don't remember, but I don't even care. I was like, it's going to go. I know I didn't. One thing I know for sure is I didn't scrapbook about the story, about her touching everything. We'd gotten some ice cream that day, and they're like every single, well, she doesn't have anything in her hands, but she has it on her face. There's something in her hands, 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 and there's something in her hands. So that's what my journaling was kind of talking about. Let me read it to you real quick. Says this little afternoon stroll with Bevan is a memory I'll always treasure. We popped in and out of the shops, taking in the colors, the light, and that cozy fall feeling. Now, this was in the fall, but I'm still using springy colors. One thing I'll never forget, Bevan touching everything in sight. From trinkets to displays, she couldn't resist picking things up to get a closer look. I must have said, be careful a dozen times, but really, it's one of the things I love most about her. She's curious, hands on, and always fully present in the moment, wishing her the kind of joy that lingers longer than the flowers bloom. October 2019, Fredericksburg. So, again, this was in the fall, but I'm not too concerned about that. I had to use the paper, and then I wanted to use the yellow um in her clothes that kind of coordinated. Now I struggled this morning with my photos. I finally figured out what the problem was because my first photos came out looking like this. And I have a brand new printer, but look at the difference. Like this was really yellowy and goldy looking. I almost had to use them, but then I figured out had it set to print a photo on cardstock, I think, and it was the wrong setting. So I finally figured it out, thank goodness. All right, so this is part of my title, which is wishing you joy in every little thing. So I just cut these out or I printed them out on my printer out of a Word document, and then I used some scraps. Excuse me, got a little frog in my throat. And I'm going to incorporate that into with the title wishing here. So I'm going to set these over here because that'll be in a few moments. So I've got all that talked about. Again, we'll set that aside. Goodness. And that's the die cut I chose to use for today. I think it's about 3¼ inches circle. And we'll bring these in too. So I'm using these little clear sleeves that some of the dies come in. Since I take them out and put them into my case, I have a ton of these envelopes and I can put in my little goodies. I could like put all of this stuff in there. I won't right now, but that's kind of what it's for. Any extras I have for the week, I will keep them handy in there. Maybe things I don't use. All right, so we have some 12 by 12 white willow cardstock, and I think we'll keep this pretty clean as far as little distressing. And I'll tell you what I thought I would do, and then I realized I can't run this big 12 by 12 through here. Now, there is a way I could do it, but then I'd have to add more paper. So we won't be doing that today, but I will tell you the idea I had and how you could do it if you wanted to. All right, I'm just putting some temporary removable glue dots on the back of my paper to keep it onto my mat. And this particular design, the background is pretty basic. I could move that out of the way for now. That's going to be part of my title area. So use, I'm going to show the front and the back of this two-tone cardstock. So I just cut two strips the same width or width. This is the length, I guess, technically. And this is the light side of the old olive. And then I cut 1/2 inch strips and use the dark side right here. So I'm not sure exactly where that's going. I think it's going to come down a little bit further. I know where those going. Okay, so these are the two out of the 6 by 12 piece. One of the patterns. You could use any of them, but this is what I chose to do because I really liked that. It almost looks white in certain, but hopefully you can see the blue. If I turn it that way, you can see it's blue. It's got that pool party. So I want to put these down at the bottom. They're going to kind of anchor my page, and all of this is going to come down here like this. And then this is white up here, and we can do some stamping or clusters. Like I know this is going to go over here. This piece is going to hold 3 by 3 photos right around in here. And then this is a 3 by 3 photo. And I may have to overlap it just a little bit like this because this is the design that I wanted, and that's the only size, the closest size I could get to it. All right, so say hello. Let me know where you're viewing from, and we will get started on adhering all this down. So my idea, just real quick, I wanted to show this really neat. We'll just get this part out of the way. I love this right here. This is going to cut like right into your paper. And I really thought I was going to do something up here in the corner with that and then put some yellow cardstock behind it. That would be so pretty, but I can't get my whole 12 by 12 piece of paper into my die cutting machine. Now, what you could do is probably use like Daffodil Delight as your base because everything else would be covered up. And then you'd have a strip, a 3 by 3 strip of white that you could punch out. That would go through your die cutting machine and then layer that on top of the Daffodil Delight. So that would work, but just paper wise, I'm not doing that today because I'm limited in my what I can put in the scrap and create kit. And I can't use a whole sheet of um, Daffodil Delight except on Wednesday. So I think I did put 2 sheets of Daffodil Delight into your um, scrap and create kit, but I'm using one as a mat. Well, and the other one will be as a mat on Wednesday. All right, so let's get these down and get busy. So this is a real classic, easy, fun base for your page, and then you could do your photos however you want. I've got the 3 4 by 6 photos and 4 3 by 3 photos that I'll be using. So that's a total of 7 photos. And if you brought in some flip flaps, because we have them in the 3x3s and the 4x6s, can you imagine the number of photos that you could get on this? So think of this design. You could do Christmas with some Christmas papers. So this is going to go somewhere kind of like that. And I think this is going to be our title over here. So we know well, we have tons of photos for Christmas, maybe Thanksgiving or Halloween. You just change out your papers and use this pattern. In your Scrap and Create kit, you will receive a PDF that gives you measurements, and then you can use your paper. You can use it for different, like I said, different papers. And then you'll have these videos to follow along with. All right, so super simple technique is showing you how you can use your two-tone cardstock and how awesome it really is. I'm not doing any special techniques with the two-tone, just showing you how you can use both those shades. But you can sand this paper and then you'll see the white core. Look how bright. Oh my gosh. I was wondering if I'm kind of looking. So this is the full size Daffodil Delight. So that's the actual color. And then when you flip it over, you can kind of see the difference right here. So I think I'm going to keep it bright, and there's going to be photos in here, so there won't be quite so much of it. Let me decide real quick. Do I want to pop this up? This one I might want to add some this and this. So let me grab my photos and show you what's going on here real quick, what the plan is. And I might need to cut some more for my journaling. All right, so my focal photo, my primary photo is going to be this one where she's looking right at the camera. A big photo. And then I kind of want to see, I guess I'm thinking I might do this one of us over here since I was talking about us strolling together. And then here are just more. I think I might do it like this. See how she's going this way, and then this way. She had such a funny look on her face on this one, like a smirk. Of course, this one too, she's being silly. And then instead of putting these together right here, I'm going to put this one over here and this one right in here. So, and then the journaling is going to go over here somewhere. I liked on one of the samples, one is like this with a little bit of something right here. The other one, it has it matted and just butt up right against there with another mat. So I might do that with some yellow. Okay, so what do y'all think? Good morning, Debbie from Florida. Our two Debbies, Debbie in Texas and Debbie in Florida. Okay, all right, so I've got the base down. I think I can go ahead and put these photos down. Well, I kind of want to know exactly where that's going. We'll do these two photos. So the pattern shows that you can put photo mats on these, but to conserve paper, I'm going to put it right in there. I think, well, no, I think we will do it. Trying to see how far away the photo is. So probably about right there. They did have, let me look. Okay. I mean, you can change up these sketches how you want. If you wanted to put something else right along here, the ribbon might be pretty. I might have to do something like that. Right now I'm trying to decide. I think I do want to overlap onto this darker shade. So I'm just kind of trying to position before I tack it down. Okay, I think I'm good there. And these will be pretty close. So remember in these, I don't know if I finished my thought, but I like to do the border around my photos. That's kind of my go-to lately. Not, it hasn't always been. I was thinking about this as I was putting these pages together or preparing them, how we kind of go in cycles of techniques that we use because we learn something new and then we use it on a bunch of pages and then you learn something new again and then the next you move on to your next stage. It's kind of the same way with whether I do the borders on my photos like that. Works well on this one because of the white. And then I don't really, you could put another mat, a thin mat, like a 4¼ by 6¼ around it if you needed it to pop a little bit more. But I think it works fine with just this white border. And then let me see, I can go ahead and layer this one onto this square. Again, this is a 3 by 3 photo once I've cut it. So that's 3 by 3 right there. When I do it on my program and go to print it, I reduce the picture down to 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 so I can get this white border around it when I cut it. And then the mat is 3¼ by 3¼ All right, so we know we're going to put that over here. And since we're scrapbooking and I'm going to conserve my dimensionals, I have some foam tape that I like to use to give my scrapbook pages dimension. I get this off of Amazon. So I'll put like 3 strips. This one's going to need quite a few going down it. And then let's kind of play around here for just a second. This is going, I think I'm going to let it all overlap. Maybe not that. I don't know. But we'll overlap this right here like that at an angle, because that's even how the pattern I'm using shows. To put it at a little angle here, and I'm not covering up anything. Okay, just like that. And then I think I like where that's going. I'll position it like that. But let's get the photos on here first. Now the photos are going to go directly on here. Let me move over here. So let me find the center of this piece. It is a 10" by 3½ inch. So 5 inches is our halfway point. So I can just use this as a guide. Whoops, but I want it to go this way because it's going to go up and down. And once you have that one on there, pretty straight, then this one's going to go down here. And does anybody have any ideas of what you would scrapbook with the, I can't get it to go. There we go. Delightful Floral Delight. Floral Delights. I don't know if it's Floral Delights or Delight. All right, so about the same width all the way around down here. I would love to know your ideas about what you would scrapbook. Now, once I get it on here, I feel like it's pretty close. This one could come down just a smidge. I don't know if I can get it up. See if I can. As long as I can, and maybe you could do these first and then do this one. Because I still didn't feel like I was right in the center there. Okay, I'm just trying to get the same width right in between there. Now I can put my strips of foam tape. I just kind of like to go in the middle, top and bottom, in the middle, and then I fill in these areas. So probably two here, two there. That'll probably be plenty for me. So I don't want it to squish down too much in the, like this one can't really push down in between it. Once it's in your page protector. It's like everybody's so quiet, I think. So if you're able, what are you doing right now? Are you working? And you, so if you're not commenting, maybe you're busy. All right. Yeah, that's going to be pretty good. Like, see, can you see that right there? I can push down in there. So if you really wanted to get serious, you could put some more in there, but that's a lot already. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm not quite as obsessive as Karen Patterson. She was she was a former Close to My Heart Maker demo dots demonstrator years and years ago, and then she started working at the Close to My Heart corporate offices. And thank you, Jesus, that she transitioned over to Stampin' Up, and she's helping with our album retreat that's coming up in it's coming in July, I think, July 16th through the 18th. It's 3 days, and we're going to create 12 two-page layouts in 3 days. So a whole album. More details will be coming in. I really do want to know, Lori. Be safe. Lori says she's driving. All right. Well, be careful. And thanks for joining me while you're driving. Teresa's working. All right. So I totally understand why y'all can't chit chat. All right. So let's see. I can put this one down now, and that one's just going to go straight on the page. Similar to this. So down, overlapping that just a tiny bit. I'm going to come a little bit closer, kind of like I did here. All right, so I think that's good. Just a little design tip for scrapbooking. So you want to try to have your photos that are on the outside facing in to your, see how I'm kind of facing this way, and then this one I put over here because she's facing that way. So it just draws your eye in to everything on the page. So, all right, got to decide what I want to do with that. I'm going to move over my, don't think I need my dimensionals or my tape for the moment. What next? Okay, let's work on, we'll come back to this in a minute. I want to work on my title. I'm probably just going to pop, you know what? I'm going to pop this up. I'm deciding. Give me 1 second. Yeah, we'll pop this up. I'll put a couple of pieces. I'm going to layer like die cuts onto this. So I used some scrap that I messed up on, some cardstocks. I've got some lines on here. So I'm just using, I was like, I didn't want to waste it, so I am using it for my die cuts because there's still good paper on the back. All right, so I'm going to not overlap it. I'm trying to decide. I think I'm gonna not overlap it there either. I'm trying to get this straight. Okay, kind of position it right in there. Okay, so this is gonna be my title area. I'm not sure yet. We may do something a little bit up here. I have to look at the stamps to see what's available. All right, so here is where we have got to bring in some, let me show you what I got cut so far. See, I could bring that in over here with some flowers or something. Here is part of my title that I wanted to do like right over here somewhere. And then these are going to go underneath here with some flowers. And these are all little pieces. The tip of the eye or the dot is in here somewhere. We'll see if we don't lose it. And then these are just little pieces I cut out that are going to go in the middle of the flowers. So we're going to move this over. We're going to bring in our, I'm going to go ahead and layer this over here. There's a little piece I got to get out of the middle of that. There it is. Do a little surgery there. So we need the base of that. I think doing it in yellow will be good. Let me show you what inspired me real quick. I did print out the card that I was kind of looking at. So go to Pinterest and like I typed in the Floral Delights designer series paper and it mostly comes up with card ideas, but you can take elements from the card ideas. This is Arico. Maybe I'm not sure what, Sudano, that's her name. Not sure where she's from. Stamping in the Meadows, but this was her fun fold card. And see how I'm kind of doing something similar to what she's doing here, maybe. I wanted to do these flowers. So there's several things that we need to do. I need some of the white because we got to do a little bit of stamping because I want to stamp those leaves. I think I need to stamp quite a few. And I don't know that there's anything else really that I'm going to stamp. So maybe just those this time. I need this here in a minute to cut out because I've already cut this piece out. I've already cut this out. And I don't think there are any. See, you were here, you all the best. So it's wishing you were here, wishing you all the best, wishing you a happy birthday, wishing you lots of love. I might could use lots of love somewhere, possibly. And then wishing you well. All right, so then the other, Debbie was playing a game. All right, so I know I'm gonna do, there must be a little adhesive on here. Thank you, Ruth. Yeah, there's a little tape on there. I'm gonna have to clean it up so it's not stuck on there. All right, so I think I'm gonna do just those and not this one. So I think it's the smaller ones. And then probably just stamp the leaves. I'm not gonna die cut any leaves. I'm looking. Already, these are the little pieces that I cut that are in here already. And so I do need this because I'll be die cutting those out. All right, I think that's it. I don't know, maybe I'm gonna grab these two because maybe that'll give some variety to the page and just doing the same flowers, but just a full one and kind of one from the side. Rico just did the small ones here. Can you see them? But I might do one or two of the others. Okay, let me grab. I need some old olive. I think I'm done with my pattern book. Pretty much got that figured out. So we'll do our old olive and we'll get busy here creating, getting all this done because this will be a little time consuming. Oops. Suppose I could do, let me see, I'm just kind of looking at the different shades first while I'm doing this. And I think I'll just do it all in first generation. So one, two, so I'll have to chit chat about some things. I have some things to share while I'm doing this. So, has everyone heard about the new stamping rewards program that is starting on April 15th here in the United States? I think some of the other countries have already started theirs. But starting April 15th, you'll be able to earn stamping rewards on any purchase $20 or more. And you'll have to have an account through my website or your demonstrators. You'll have an account, so you'll need to make sure to go to my website or your demonstrator's website. I'm not sure how many I'm doing of these yet. I'm just going to stamp a bunch of them real quick because we'll probably use any extras later in the week. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think that'll be more than enough. So instead of having to spend $150 to get stamping rewards, now it starts at $20. Will be no more like workshops where you get the stamping rewards plus the 50% off item. It'll all just be stamping rewards. So every purchase that you make that's $20 or more, you'll earn 10% on that. So a $20 order would be $2. A $100 order would be 10. And you can accumulate them so that you can use them at a later time. So if you've got $50 in stamping rewards, you could get $50 in free product at some point. So you can save them and use them however you want. You're in charge of them. And you just have to make sure you're signed in. When you have an account, you're signed in. When you place your order, for the system to keep track of that for you. All right, so that's going to be something fun and new. We had something similar with Close to My Heart and really loved that. All right, I got to get this. I'm not even done yet, so let me stop moving this around. I can't talk and do the work at the same time, apparently, but I'll try. All right, again, I think that's all I'm going to cut out on these. So let's just get busy. What else is going on? Of course, we have our new catalog that's going to be coming out that will be available to customers May 6th. So we still have a month before that happens. So I'm mostly still going to be using product that's available, either online exclusives or that's currently available and in our current catalog. We also have the mini catalog. Um, I've got to look and see. I know what I'm going to be doing next week. And then after that, because I still think I have 3 weeks that I've got to figure out, or at least 2 weeks before I'm going to start really using the new catalog or the new items. There's new May online exclusives coming and tons of wonderful new products in our new catalog. So you may have seen a sneak peek. We started some of the artisans from 2025. We're doing a Mail It Monday. So I've got Make It Monday live, but then we have a Mail It Monday where we do a card. I did that on my Instagram and Facebook this morning. Think it went live at 6 a.m. So every Monday I participate. If something comes up and I can't get it done, then I may not post. But right now I've worked that into my schedule so I can share a new card every Monday morning for the Mail It Monday hop. And so be sure to check out my Instagram or Facebook profile page, my Facebook Passionate About Scrapbooking page to see my card, but there's also links to, I think you have to go over to Instagram to see everybody's cards that they've made. I haven't even had a chance yet this morning to go through and check everybody out, but I know they're all fabulous. So, oops, I didn't cut that one very good, but that's okay. I'm gonna not worry about it too much. All right, try this again. There we go. Just gonna keep doing these and I'm going to keep sharing. So let's see, what else do we have going on? I think I still have a month to get ready, but there's another design team group that I joined with past and present artisans, and we'll be doing a hop, I think at the first part of May when the new catalog goes live, using new products. Excited about that. And then we have a hop coming April 17th as well. These are unofficial hops that the artisans have just gotten together to do. It just kind of it I like doing them if I can because I get to use different products than what I'm using each week. So maybe there's a bundle that I have that doesn't necessarily have a coordinating designer series paper or I don't want to use for the whole week. So this is a great opportunity for me to play with some different products as well. So that's what's fun about doing these little hops with, and right now it's with fellow artisans. And what else is on my calendar? I was talking about the album retreat earlier. If you want to participate in that, I think it's May 28th. I'll get the details. I need to put them in the description here pretty soon. But I think registration starts May 28th, I believe. I think it's going to be about $250 in the United States, but you will get at least one, if not two, exclusive stamp sets included in your kit. Plus, everything will be pre-cut for you, which is a huge perk. And then we'll go step by step. There'll be video tutorials to walk you step by step through putting the pages together. And I think the theme is I don't remember the exact name, but we're going to make like monthly pages, I think like January through December. I think we're going to get a good variety of paper and samples, and it's going to be really neat. Album Retreat with Close to My Heart has always been my very favorite event they did, whether I went live, like in person. I went, oh, I don't even remember how many times I went to Utah to do that. The last one was in January 2020, and I went with Lori, who was commenting earlier. And we had the best time. Of course, that was before the world changed forever. And then all of them since then had been virtual. Well, start saving your money, Debbie, and I'll let you know as soon as it's ready because I mean, we could even get together because Debbie's here in Fredericksburg with me and create together or do like what we were talking. We could even sneak away. Ju- Just got to get Robert on board with it, right? We could maybe do what we were talking about. We could go to get a bed and breakfast or go into San Antonio. You know, if you're got some friends, I'm talking to everybody now, but if you have some friends that you wanted to do a little mini retreat with, and you could get um, either have like a laptop with you that you could stream maybe to the TV in the hotel room or something. Could do your own little mini retreat with some friends since it is going to be virtual. Now, there is a little and there'll be recordings, but I'm not sure how they're going to do the recording because we do know that uh, Facebook will be they're deleting live videos now. So, of course, they could record it and then upload it again. So, I'm not sure how they plan to do that, but there will be the lives will be available for at least 30 days, and hopefully they'll make them available another way for those that register. So, I'm guessing they could save the video and then upload it into the Facebook group. There'll be an exclusive Facebook group for those to participate in. All right, so there's all that. I don't, I think I'm gonna do yellow for all the other items. So let me dig into my stash here. Let's see what I got. Here are some of my scraps. I don't want to bust into that big 12 by 12. Of course, I could cut out the middle because that's going to be the base of my page on Wednesday. So there's a lot of Daffodil Delight that we could use. So let's work through this. I'm going to just bring in this sample and show you what we're going to do. Okay, I'm going to use this small one, I think. Let me think for a minute. I'm going to start with this one, and our base of our flowers are going to be the light side of the Daffodil Delight. And I think if I just do like 6 total flowers, that'll give me I'm going back so I don't run my whole piece of paper through the machine every time. Whoops. All right, so there's those. That'll be great for my title. I'm just going to move these back and whoops, flip it over this way, Pamela. And I think I'll just limit it to 3 clusters. You could do a lot more if you wanted to, but for time's sake, I am just going to do the 3. When it gets stuck in there, I need to rub some alcohol on here and get that little tape residue off of there. That's what's sticking. But I'll do that later. All right, and then here, and I'm just trying to kind of squeeze it up in here so I make the best use of my cardstock as possible. Oh, really, Lori? Oh my gosh. You got me all excited now. How about everyone come to Fredericksburg? We'll just rent out one of the um there's Fredericksburg Inn. So before I ever lived in Fredericksburg, I have to share the story while I'm working on this with y'all. Gosh, Nancy Hatcher back in, I want to say it was like 2003. She rented out the Fredericksburg Inn, which is just up the road from me where I live now. And of course, there were like 15, 20 of us, probably demonstrators. It could be demonstrators, customers, whoever. But at the time, it was just for demonstrators, close to my heart demonstrators. Okay, I think that's all I want in that. Now I'm gonna try to keep working and talking. And then we each did a demonstration of some kind. I have pictures somewhere I need to dig out, but yeah, we could totally like do a retreat or we could keep it small, whatever. We'll see what happens. But I would love that, Lori. We would have so much fun. And you will love Debbie. So we'll definitely have to talk. So we definitely too have to squeeze in some time to show you around Fredericksburg. Uh-oh. Well, no, I did it right. I did it right. Okay, good. See the two-tone? Damn, I love this. I love doing the dice. So I gotta find, okay, there's the little hole to get that out of there. So just 2 more times on that. Oh, Lori, you got me all excited now. I've so missed getting together. Didn't get to go to, well, Lori didn't either. Didn't get to go to on stage. So we got to wait till next March to do that in Long Beach Island. Long Beach Island, Long Beach. And I think I did a leadership conference there back in like 2003 too, I think. It was a long time ago. So now you got my mind just going. All right, let's see here. I think that's, no, sometimes it's hard to find, especially when it's got all these other little pieces that it cuts out. Okay, so I still got to go one more time on this and see if we can get it out of this paper right here. And see all those little things, I got to poke those out too. And, oh, yes, they just all start. I'm off camera just poking these out. 'Cause you don't want to leave them in there because then it won't cut properly. So you got to take your tool and just poke all those out. I just poke them out on the floor and then I'll sweep later. All right, I think I can fit it in here. Let's see here. Let me move it around right there. Okay, right there. And okay, let's see. So we've got, oh, there's, yeah. So I think I have everything cut for that now. So I think we're good. I'll clean those out later. Got those. And then the only other thing I need to cut, I think, I'm going to do this in yellow since it's going to be on white. So I've got to use this bigger scrap, and I am going to do it in the full, and I'm going to angle it so that I can do some smaller things around it maybe and not waste a bunch of paper. I love these dies, and I don't know why it took me so long. This is literally the first time I'm cutting, playing with this die, this collection. All right, and put that away. And even this is tiny. Look at, I mean, it's nice and thin. So this is going to go right over top of that. It's going to be so pretty. Okay. Well, I think once we get that done, yeah, we're going to be close to, I see that little flower right there. I may do a little stamping on the white up at the top here and there. We'll see. But now that we got all of that done, I think everything else will come together pretty quickly. Let me see. Things put away. Now let's, because remember, I do have all those little brown pieces done. All right. I think that's good. My poor table's dirty. I think I'm going to switch this thing out to black. I'm thinking about making it black because it's showing everything. Okay. So we got to put our pieces together. So let me bring in, I want to be careful and not mess up make sure it's clean. Now I did notice on Bev, I don't know if her shirt, I think it's probably paint that's on her shirt. I decided to leave it. Looks like she's got little splatters because it also looks like she has one in here. So it's not from the chocolate chips. All right, let me lay these out. Where's the other? There it is. And we'll build up our flowers. That'll go there somewhere. I got some few more things to pop out, it looks like. But let's get our little symbol line here. That one looks good. And I just got to figure out how it all fits on here. I'm not sure yet. We got one here that looks like that's done. This one still has some things to pop out. And then it'll go on here somewhere. This one has a couple, I think. Let me see, just one. That one looks pretty good. This one has more, but it's not too bad. Okay, and I'm just gonna, again, I'm just gonna wipe this off right now onto the floor and I will sweep in a little bit. Then we have this we got to put together as well. That might be a little tricky. So well, I don't know if I'll use liquid glue. I may just run some adhesive. And I'm going to grab a different adhesive to do this one. Okay, I've got everything out of it. So let's see. Just got to be gentle. Just not to tear it. I'm using a dot adhesive. Now you could use your liquid glue if you wanted to, or if you ran it through with an adhesive sheet, you could do that too. Let me do this and then I'll have to let Lady in because she's scratching at the door. I like this better because I can move it a little bit, manipulate it to where it fits in there good, and I'm not getting any excessive glue anywhere. Just a minute, lady. She's being obnoxious. Goodness. All right, there we go. There were actually two. Dang it. I didn't see the other one when I cut it. I'll have to look and see if it's. Yes, Princess Ladybug. She just scratches on the door. Let me in, let me in. All right, so that's going to pop off real pretty right there. And then I have just a little bit. I have those. Let me look at something real quick. Where are my dies at? I was just going to see if by any chance. Nope, it's. Ooh, I don't know. Let me see if it's in there. No, I don't think it's in there. Darn it. So I may have to just get a little brown pen and draw in there. I think that's what I'm going to do. I have, maybe, I may have to do it later. I have a sepia pen, or, I know, sticking with the Stampin' Rights. I'll just grab this, see if I can make this work. There's the bullet point. And if I just do a dot right there, look, okay, because that would be pretty much impossible to, okay, so that worked. Can't even tell. That would have been impossible to glue on anyways. I don't think I would even be able to do that. So, because it was literally, there is one of them, literally a little piece in there. Okay, let's continue on and figure out how, where is, I don't know if there's a picture. Not really. So if you're ever struggling to figure out what some of these pieces go to, it's kind of what I had to do here. I had to go to Pinterest and see what others had done with it, or you can look online, Stampin' Up website, and look at some of the artwork that they've done. So I think on this, I just have to kind of figure out what fits where. So let me just rotate it. I just kind of rotate until it fits. Maybe. Maybe, no, not quite. Maybe like that. All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to look online and see if there are any samples that I can work with. All right, sounds good to me, Lori. Let me know when a good time to chat on the phone will be. Okay, Debbie, you got to convince Robert now. Oh, it'll be so awesome. Um, Even if it's just the three of us. But if we can gather anymore, we might can find a B and B or Airbnb. Um, Let me see. Okay, what am I looking for? I am looking for, sorry, I'm on my website. I'm going to look under the suite product suites. Floral Delight. All right, there we go. There is a big picture. Hey, I'm going to share with y'all real quick. I think maybe. Um, let me. Ecamm is requesting, would like access, allow. Hopefully this doesn't mess anything up. All right, let me know if you can see my page. So see those samples right there? I'm gonna zoom in. All right. Yay! Okay, So I think that's it right there, pretty much. Let me look. I can see this one. Oops, I can't see my finger. Maybe can you see my what do you call it? My cursor. Okay, I think I figured it out. Give me 1 second, or at least close to it. Let me look. That one kind of goes there. Yep. Okay. Let me come back. Maybe. Okay. Here we go. All right. So I think I've got it. Oops. Don't know if you can see it. Let me get up closer, see if it can focus. There we go. So that's how I'm going to glue it on. I'm going to flip it this way. Then we'll just probably have to try to line it up again a little bit, but I already messed it up. Is that it? I think that's it right there. Oh yeah, you can see how it all nests in there. Okay. I wonder if, give me 1 second too. I'm going to look at I'm going to take down my brightness just a tiny bit. I don't know if that helped much, but okay. That's how we're going to do all those. So I'm just going to turn my paper. I think it's like that. Same way. And then this goes under here. This nests right over top of that area. So that's when you know you can pretty much got it lined up right down there. So it is kind of like a little jigsaw puzzle. Oh, let's see. There we go. And then this goes right there. Okay. Once you figure it out, then it comes together pretty easy. Okay. Now we got to do the same thing with these. All right, so this piece is going to nest right in there, I think, like that. And then just kind of rotate it a little bit till it's lined up over here. So these two pieces. I'm amazed at the um, fine detail that Stampin' Up! Is able to get in their dies. This blows me away because I've never used anything like this. That can be frustrating at first. My first workshop I tried to do with scrapbooking was using those flower carts and trying to figure out how to put those together was kind of crazy. Okay, so there's that. So this is all a little tedious, but this will be the most, I would think, the most tedious one because of the 2-page layout. I think I did more than enough. I think I did like 6 sets of these, and I only have really 3 sets. There's that little, oops, do you see the static? So I think that's the little piece right there that was supposed to go on here. There's no way. All right, so the bigger ones of these can just go right. I think you just kind of stick them on there. I'm gonna do it lightly. I think that's about how they go. I'm not going to try to put them specifically, I don't think. I'm just going to stick them on here. I don't think that matters too much. And then I'll save the rest of these for our other projects. And then the little ones, go right in here. Let's see if, all right, now that our flowers are just about done, it's just putting our clusters together and our title together, I think. And then I'll see if there's anything particular I want to do right up in here or not. I debated about doing another piece of pattern paper there, but then decided it was a little too much because I personally like to have a little bit of white space. I think that is the other piece right there. So maybe I did get them all, or that's, yeah, I don't know. Again, I would never be able to get that tiny little piece. Can y'all see that? It won't focus, I don't think. There we go. That tiny little piece. There is no way I would ever get that on there. Okay, so let me move these over here. Well, this will be our little staging area. Let me kind of figure out how I'm going to do my title. Wishing you, and maybe I'll just do it like right under here. Put that up a little bit higher. I might put a little foam dot right behind there. Wishing you joy, I think is what it was, in every little thing. Okay, let me see how this is all going to work out. So I could put it over on the side, maybe something over here. They don't have to touch necessarily. With some leaves coming out. That one's there. So then I think I might do something down here. Oh, I don't want to cover up what she's holding, but we'll have to go up a little bit higher maybe. Something like that. I think I still do want some yellow. And then this one can be over here somewhere. And then let's see how many. I'm going to get the best ones for over here. Let's see that going underneath there a little bit. There and somewhere over here. So I've got extras that I might can use. We'll see, maybe one more over here, and then maybe we will save these. You know what? That might be all I do. I may just not do anything up here. Because again, I don't think there was any stamp that there wasn't like any type of border stamp. There's a branch, but it goes with these leaves, I think. There is a neat little stamp right here that might can go in a couplet, not down here necessarily. So we'll see. Let's get all this down and we'll pretty much be done. We have our ribbon still. I've got a couple of little bees to put, and then maybe I'll do a ribbon just right across here or something to bring in a little bit more yellow. But all right, let's get this down. So I'm gonna still need this. I'm just gonna run tape across that part, and then let me grab, I think just one little mini foam adhesive. Let me see what I got over here. There's some. I have a whole new package and it's not even part of my artisan. They come with 3 sheets. So I'll grab one to put in my tray over here. And I may even have to cut it down. I'm not sure. Let me get scissors. So I'll just kind of pop it. To get it started, just have to kind of bend it back. Let me see if I can make it fit right there. All right, I think that's all I need right there. And I'm popping this up because I popped this up and then the G is going to hang off. Once you get this together, it's nice and sturdy. All right, so I think I'm gonna do, guess I'm going right there because my G just stuck down. Okay, right there, wishing. And then I'm just going to glue these down. I just decided to cut them apart like this to do something a little bit different. I could have kept the you, wishing you joy. Oops. I'm having a hard time seeing if that's straight. Okay, I think that is. And you could even like kind of go up and down if you wanted to. I'm gonna just kind of look and see. I might do that just for something a little different. I'm standing, wishing you joy in every little thing. Yeah, that'll work. I could put that like right under here. Don't think I'll pop any more of this up because there's already, all this is already popped up. So I'm gonna just do, that will need a dot, I think, underneath the big leaf. All right. Yeah, this is gonna be a bright, fun one. I know there's lots of samples out there already. Everybody's been playing with this. This is probably one of the most popular out of the whole entire, I think it was an online exclusive. Or was it in the mini catalog? I don't even know. I don't remember because it came out in March, first part of March, or maybe January. I think maybe it came out in January. I've had it that long in my stash of things to do. Yeah. So I think the design team used the bundle, but they weren't allowed to use this paper because I went and looked for some samples of it on the Facebook page and there weren't any. All right, so I think I'll tuck it right up under here. Kind of like that. All right. And then a couple of little bees. That's going to be cute. Now let's do over here. It's going to be kind of off. I could probably use a bigger, let me see, I have a couple of little pieces that I've got to use up here. So let's do that. Let me see how I want this on here. Probably just kind of like that. And put a little adhesive on that side. It's going to overlap the picture just a tiny bit, like right up here. Both of these pictures, I think I'll do kind of like right up in here. Okay. Let me do same thing maybe with that. So I like to cut, I'm gonna do a little bit smaller, I think, pieces, just to use up all this. I'll start over here, maybe. So we're almost done. I just love her in those flowers. Like that. And maybe we'll cluster this one up a little bit more. Just barely overlap it. Like that. And there's the leaf. I'll tuck one right under there. Again, I want to be careful and not cover up whatever it is she's holding. Some weird, this was one of the kind of antique shops or thrift shops. I don't know what you call this. I think a flower or a leaf right up in there would be pretty. Like right up here. Yep. I'm just gonna glue it straight down to the photo and tuck it in like right in there to ground these two flowers together. All right, I still need to let me decide what I want to do. Maybe, you know what? I might just leave it just like that because we've got a lot of yellow going on. I think too much yellow might be distracting. So let's just stick our branch down and have it coming out right over here. I'll bring it up a little bit. Now you could add some more flowers, but I'm gonna just let me get some bigger. Oh, I still had, no, I cut those tiny, so I'm gonna leave those like that. Now I'm gonna grab some regular size dimensionals. I gotta open another package for that. So we have mini and regular. Now I'm really stocked up on it because Cindy sent us two new packages of each size. This one's going to be floating up here, so I'm going to have a full two, at least two. Two will probably be plenty. So I don't have to be stingy with my dimensionals. I'll figure out where we're going to put that one too. So both of these really. One will probably work. Yay! Get to scrapping. Okay, I like it. Kind of at an angle like that, going in. And then I think I'll do one of these, maybe two of them that are popped up and one that's not. We'll see. Let me see how I. All right. Can't decide about the ribbon yet. I haven't decided. Okay, let me put this down real quick. I'm just going to put it down. Kind of where it's floating right in there. And maybe can just touch it just a little bit. There, I like that. So it all kind of comes together. And we'll go ahead and put a dot. I do have to put some little bee trinkets on here. Those are our embellishments. Kind of. Okay, well, I'm gonna do that. All right, everything's down. Fun, fun. I haven't done a fun floral layout like this in a long time, it feels like. Um, where are my, there they are. Okay. So our bee trinkets, tiny bee trinkets is what they're called. Let me see if I can get this off. There we go. So they're, I'm not sure what they're made of. They're kind of heavy. I don't know that it really says. Kind of like a little brass something. I'm gonna open this up just to, I can't believe I haven't even opened any of this ribbon up yet either. Just have to cut the plastic once I get, okay. So once you get it off of there, I didn't even get all of it off. But look how it's thin and pretty. I mean, it make pretty little bows. Just don't know that I need it on my page. You know, you could do something like that. It's just going to be hard to, and then I've already put that down, so that kind of messed that up. So I won't. I don't think. I'm just gonna see if there's anything else I could do with it. Could put some bows, but I don't know that I will. If I figure something out off camera, you'll see it. All right, I need this. I need some glue dots. I think this is the best way to get these on here. I did this with my last week's Restoring Joy Through Creativity using my paper pumpkin kit. Just stuck one, kind of rolled up the glue dot, get it squished back there because it's a little bit bigger. Glue dots are bigger than the bees. All right, so I'm gonna put one there, I think. So oops, you will get some of these in your, so pull it off so you have it on something like that, and then you can squish it on the back of your bee. I called these butterflies the other day. You could also maybe cut your um, glue dot in half where you're not using the whole thing. That gets a little tricky sometimes, but you could use your scissors and cut it in half, possibly. All right, we're wrapping it up. Just gonna keep putting a couple here and there. And then on Wednesday, I don't even know what I'll scrapbook Wednesday yet. This would be great for Mother's Day or this time of year, just flowers. If you have some pretty yellow daisies, I think all the daisies, yeah, they're all kind of, they're not all daisies necessarily, but they're all yellow, I think. This is where this was a little bit different. Had some of the same colors as the March Daisy Daydream paper pumpkin kit, but the daisies in there were all white. But this paper would coordinate really pretty with that one. It had all the, yeah, the same colors, like I said. All right, do another one over here too. I'm just adding more and more. I need one or two more over here too, I think. And then we're done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's add 7 total. There. One more. This one was so fun and enjoyable. All right. Oh, and I wanted to remind everyone, I just saw Susan sent me $15 for probably my March paper pumpkin kit. I'm not sure. I haven't looked yet. I'm going to do this one over here somewhere, I think. Maybe like right on. So I have kind of a triangle going on here. I think I'll put it right there. Yeah, right there on the flower. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You could do another one over there if you wanted to, or a couple more. Have fun with those bees. Ladies going out again, but I think I'm done. I don't think I'll be doing any ribbon on this one. If I figure out a way to incorporate it. Now, there are some ways you could have. We could have done this. Maybe it could be either right up against it. You could wrap it around the back and glue it down. It's super thin ribbon, so it'd be hard to, can't use your tear and tape really, but you could wrap it around and tape it along the back. That would be cool. But you could also do some cardstock, a little thin strip of the Daffodil Delight cardstock up there too. Could also put it down here just to break that up a little bit more. I might end up doing something like that. That's really pretty. That just adds a little bit more. You could do the top and the bottom, and then I'll just have to piece it together if I want to make it work over here, which I could do, but I'm not going to take the time to do that on camera. But I might add that. I just might have to see how much ribbon is in there, and if I think I'll be good. I think I can give you plenty of ribbon to do all of that. So if you have any questions about anything, let me know. Um, I was I got distracted by a lady about the PDF. I have a Facebook group that I originally used to share my scrapbooking workshop PDFs in there, but now I have landing pages that house all my PDFs. But if you join that Passionate About Scrapbooking Workshop Guide VIP Facebook group, something like that, um, I've got all the links to my 3 different landing pages for my PDFs. So you can get the PDFs for the weekly projects, the new with the 12 by 12 page on Wednesday. I have older ones that have the 8.5 by 11 pages in them. And then also the Paper Pumpkin Creative. So if you ever just want PDFs, um, check out, I think I shared it on my Facebook page as well. So you can join the group and then stay up to date with those there. All right. So thank you all for joining me and for visiting with me. I appreciate it. And Lori and Debbie, I'm so excited about making plans to get together to do album retreat. I hope it all works out. So mark your calendars for July 16th through the 18th at least. And we might be having a little mini retreat here in Fredericksburg, Texas. Everyone's welcome. Just let me know. And then we'll find the proper size venue to hang out at. We have a bajillion choices here in Fredericksburg. All right. Take care, everyone. There's my finished page. Lots of fun. I love it. And we just did very little stamping, and I left some white space up here, which I think I'm okay with. So have a great week. Hope to see you Wednesday for Story and Sketch, where I'll be creating a single 12 by 12 scrapbook page. And then on Friday will be the two fun fold, two fun fold cards. All right. God bless you all. Have a great week. Bye.